All right, this passage is vaguely scientific, but remember, don't get bogged down in the details. Don't worry about pronouncing the name of the pterosaur. Let's just get into it. The Cretaceous pterosaur, whatever, is known for having an anomalously oversized head crest. Until an almost complete fossil skeleton was found in Brazil, paleontologists had been able to study only skull specimens from this thing, though it was presumed that, like other pterosaurs, the species' primary form of locomotion was powered flight. So, presumed that it flies. Examining the fuller skeleton in 2016, this person and his team determined that this thing had long hind legs, short wings, and an unusually long neck, characteristics that, combined with the creature's large crested head, would have made sustained flight difficult and walking upright relatively comfortable. Based on these findings, the team suggests that, okay, this is a dumb summary, right? We thought it flies. It doesn't fly because it's not built for flying. So this suggests that the Navigans thing likely doesn't fly. Right? They thought it flies, the head's too big. So there you go. Now, it might be more complicated than that, but that is a very common SAT setup, right? We thought this, but something else happened, so now we no longer think what we thought, right? Like, that's literally it. It flew for longer distances than did other pterosaur species that had oversized head crests. Well, that sounds like it flies more, right? Flies for longer distances. The whole point is that its head is too big, it can't fly. So this is the wrong connotation, not longer distances, probably flies for shorter distances. B, it had longer wings than other pterosaur species considered to have been comfortable walking. Well, this has nothing to do with flight, so maybe I'll leave it in because I don't understand whether it matches with it or not, but at the same time, I know what I'm looking for here. It should be about flight. C, it had a smaller head than researchers expected based on the earlier T. navigans skull specimens. Well, I don't think so because they talked about the head, but it seems like the head was the whole thing. They knew about the head the whole time. I don't know. Again, this is not about flight. So let's see. D, it flew for shorter distances and spent more time walking than researchers previously thought. Because they thought it used to fly, and then they looked at the head, I guess, or whatever, and it turns out it can't fly, or at least not fly well. So yeah, if it's shorter distances and it's walking a lot, then it's not flying. So there you go. Now, I'm not going to go back and try to analyze B and C and be like, oh, well, maybe if I understand them better, they'll actually fit. No, this is why we do a dumb summary. So we don't worry about stuff that just doesn't make any sense anyway, because that's the thing. B and C are just random thoughts. They have nothing to do with it. So if you're rereading and trying to think it through and be like, oh, well, how would this make sense? You're wasting your time. It doesn't make sense. That's the whole point, is it's a random choice. So the dumb summary really keeps us focused on what we're looking for. And yes, sometimes a dumb summary isn't enough, but start there. This is a question that looks like it's gonna be hard. We're in the hard module. We're nearing the end of the passage questions. This is where we'd expect to have some hard questions. It ends up being easy because we just dumbed it down and it just clicked. So trust the process. A lot of times questions that look hard can be solved using very simple strategies.